Okay, hello everyone and good morning. My name is Heloisa Fitzgerald, and I am here today in this Mother's Day Sunday to present to you with our speech today that's going to be about decisions and be the owner of yourself and of your own decisions. But before we start, I would like to start with our initial prayer. So I would like to ask everyone to please be comfortable, whatever you are, and take a deep breath. And let's please mentalize if we still have your mother around, or if maybe your mother is already in their spiritual plan, or far away from us, as most of Brazilians here probably she is, back home, or whatever home is. So let's mentalize today and say thank you very much for the opportunity of being here in this planet, in this reincarnation. And so thank you so much for our mothers for giving us this opportunity of being here today. And let's enjoy and listen carefully to every single word that I'm here to say, because it was a speech that it came as almost as a feeling as I was looking for what to say. So I'm hoping spirituality can guide you all and give you that same feeling today. So God bless you all. So decisions. It's always a very difficult thing to talk about, because I don't think none of us like to take decisions or are comfortable in taking decisions. But our life is made of decisions every day in every single thing we do. And sometimes we don't even think it's a decision, but it is. So my little agenda for the day, it is we're going to talk about first knowing yourself, and then about our lovely comfort zone, and then the decisions, the 3 steps to take decision, and then to go with your decision. And then you have some pictures there about decisions. And decision, as I said, is in everything. Is it even to choose a piece of clothes? What are we gonna eat? Where we are going? And the friends we have, where we're going with them. So decisions are in everything we do and in everything we say. Uh, we start with a quote after with a lovely reading from a book called Lições de Vida, or Life Teachings, by Irmão José. It's a Brazilian book, and is in a chapter called Vision. So let us seek to see things beyond appearance. Let us analyze events in depth. Behind a person's attitude is the motive of his actions. The label does not always reveal the content. Of all human senses, the sense of sight is the most susceptible to mistakes. Great genius are, above all, great clairvoyants. A great poet wrote that the essential is invisible to the eyes. Based on ourselves, we will know what leads a person to act in this or that way. Let us try to see men with the eyes with which Christ saw them. Above all, let us not forget the wise evangelical warning. The chain of the body is the eyes. If your eyes are good, all of your body will have light. I think that's just to set the tone, um, to set the tone first for us to know how to know yourselves, and how we see ourselves and how we see the world. And I love this phrase that I highlight: the chain of the body is our eyes. And the chain, and is also in Portuguese, is mainly saying as the jail of the body, because sometimes we see something, but we're not really looking at something in depth. And we make conclusions, and then those conclusions make us to make very bad decisions or very wrong decisions. And it's always trying to see things beyond appearances. As you said, the label does not always reveal the content. And that is true. Sometimes you look at a lovely bottle of something and looks the most beautiful juice and looks so healthy and everything. But then when you go and check where you drink, maybe it wasn't all of that. Or even the opposite, you look at that, a label or a bottle and go, no. But then when you drink it and you go, oh, that was amazing. So sometimes we cannot trust totally what we see. Some people say, oh, I will only trust what I saw because I saw it famously in WhatsApp. But always remember that the sense of sight is the most susceptible to mistakes because it can create the sense of illusion. So let's always keep that in mind. Yeah. So we need to, first of all, before we think about making the decisions, we need to know ourselves. We need to know really who we are. So to be able to know what you want, you need to be able to know who you are. And always remember, we're never gonna be balanced in life if we are stay put, if we are stay still. It's the same here if we're on a bicycle. I think everyone that cycle knows that. If you're trying to stay still on a bicycle with the both feet on the pedals, you're gonna fall. The only way you're gonna keep going is and stay balanced if you're still pedaling, if you're still cycling. So I think that's life. So the only way we're gonna know ourselves if we keep going, if we keep being interested in ourselves, if we've been curious about us and understand who we are. So every day is a day to make changes. Every day we have a choice, we have a decision to make, and the decision is very simple. Do I want to be happy or do I want to be right? And I have this feeling, or I believe in that, Jesus gave us our first Google Maps of all. So he gave us the ability to show us, here's your map, okay? And the final destination is always happiness, okay? And the starting point here start with this life reincarnation again, okay? So on our Google Maps, he's gonna point us, like, from here to happiness. Is gonna show you the best way. That's the Jesus way to take. That's through his learnings of dealing and pondering situations. That's his way of taking the decision. How did he take that decision? Always remember, how did Jesus dealt with that situation? And then out of that, that's the way to bring us to happiness. Could be maybe sometimes a long way. It's never going to be shortcuts anyway. But that is a more guarantee to go to our final destination, which is this happiness, which is this more evolved spirit. That was the only way he said we were all going to go back to God, as he promised us. And St. Augustine also gave us a great way of learning how to know ourselves. And so every night before he would go to bed, and always remember that St. Augustine was not always a saint, as people always think saints were born saints. No, he wasn't. St. Augustine wasn't born a saint. He was not even a Catholic until he was converted later on in life. And until then, he did commit many sinful things. Okay. But then he made the decision. He made the decision to become himself better. He made the decision to then believe in God. At that time, Catholicism was the only way to Jesus. And then that was his decision. And then how he improved himself every day. because every night before he went to bed, he would stop and think. He would stop and think, has his retrospective. We normally only do that once per year before the new year. Oh, what happened this year? And then we always want to know what happened in the world, like, the facts, the big facts, the wars, the political problems, economical problems. But we need to start always with us, and that's every night. So it is your chance to know, how did I speak to someone? Did I make someone upset? Did I say something that was not polite, was not clear enough? Did I sound rude? Did I sound improper? Did I not forgive something? Maybe someone did something to me and I just didn't forgive. How was I today? Was I that someone that I am to be or not? Probably not, and that's okay. But then tomorrow it's your chance to restart, and that what was San Augustine taught us. And I think that's the basics of our learning how to be ourselves. Because also out of that is your knowing what makes you happy, what did make you angry, what did make you upset during that day, what did make you smile, what make you laugh. And all of that is gonna make your balance of attitudes and consequences. And that bag of good things is going to help you when you need to make that decision and remembering, well, those things is in my bag of good things that make me happy. And that are the bags of things that doesn't make me that happy. And then you can actually balance things better when making a decision. And then we have the lovely Walt Disney, a creator, an innovator that always take big steps and big changes. The way to get started, it is to quit talking and begin doing. And he did, didn't he? He created the world of fantasy, the world that we know, and we would not know ourselves without Walt Disney. In a world that fairy tales until Walt Disney, they never had a happy ending. All those fairy tales that we know nowadays, they actually had a very sad ending, not happy at all, very sad ending. And fairies here in Ireland, as you know, they are not that nice. They were actually a little tricky and always cheeky. And when he came here, he fell in love with the idea of fairies, and then he created the famous Singing Bell based in the Irish fairies. But all of that was his decisions to watch, create a world of imagination, a world of better possibilities. Why these stories have to be ending sadly? Why he could not change? And he did. Let me thank him. But for us to be able to make our decisions, and we learned that already, in our spiritism talks, we need to fight with a very well-known person, or I mean, a very well-known area of us called the comfort zone. So you guys see here this little ball, our comfort zone, and where the magic happens, it's outside of that. We never gonna evolve. We never gonna be able to do any movements if we are in our comfort zone. It's just is the opposite of each other. Even though, as you can see here, the lovely bag of chips and the lovely cozy dog, we have our moments of comfort, and we have our moments that we we just need to be in that ball, or there are moments in life that you just want to go back to your mother uterus and just feel safe. But unfortunately, we can't anymore. And our comfort zone does bring us back to that first time of our reincarnation phase. That's the phase you've been protected and you'll be able to be born. But our comfort zone, unfortunately, stop us, limit us to be who we really want to be, and create this false, totally false idea of who we are. So how to get out of our comfort zone? So here we have things when we are in the zone, in the comfort zone, and then when we're out of the zone. So when we are in the zone, we want to feel comfortable in our beliefs. We want to feel comfortable in our concepts. So we're just gonna be reading, sourcing, talking in things that we believe. We're just gonna be comfortable in things that we can consensualize, things that we can touch, or things that for us make sense. If it doesn't, I'm not comfortable. I don't want to see, I don't want to talk about it. In the zones, the change, even sometimes a hair color, a cut, using a different t-shirt that you normally do, taking a different road to go to your house that you know that you're going to arrive there, but everything can cause you fear, can cause you anxiety, and those ifs becoming much big monster than they actually is. But in the zone, you always say, but I'm okay like this, I'm okay. You created this idea, you're okay, because the laziness, oh, the best friend of the comfort zone, but the worst enemy of our evolution, the laziness, even to consider to change, to consider to read something different from what you already conceived, is that idea of, but why ought I be doing different? I'm so nice and comfy here. I call that the syndrome of sponge. So it's like we are this lovely big sponge, like, no, don't want to wash your dishes. You're just a sponge. So you're just there absorbing, like, other things that don't belong to you. So like the soap water, the dirt, but you're not producing anything yourself. You're just a sponge and you just absorb, which is great when you're in a learning phase, like a little child, and they out of that, then they're going to start using that to learn and to create their own things. But us as adults, if we're just absorbing, but out of that we're not creating or not coming up with our own things and ideas and experimenting and getting out of that, we are just big lump of sponges, and makes us to be a vegetable, because the natural sponge, what it is, it's a vegetable. So that's why we are in a vegetative state instead of being an animal, as we're supposed to be, and a spirit, and being thinking and being acting and being considering and challenging even our own selves, not asking to challenge in the world, but challenging you. So how we get out of the zone? The first is the famous 5 whys. We do that in projects, especially in work. I think lots of you are learn about something called Six Sigma in Word, things like that. And we call 5 whys. You have yourself 5 times the same thing. 5 whys. You ask, why? Why am I doing that? Why that happened? Why am in that situation? Why and why again? Because that's the only way to get to the root of the problem. Because sometimes we ask just once why, you straight away you jump to conclusions, and that sometimes is just the tip of the iceberg. And sometimes you need to dig a little bit deeper. We have so many cases now, we study cases that they discovered what problem happened, and they, because 5 times we need to ask ourselves, almost like a child, why, but why, even when they do that to us, you go, and then you go, you know what, I don't know why. And that's okay to not know why, but at least you're being honest then. And then what I love, honesty with your own self. And fear, yes, we all have it. And it's okay to have it, because a fear is an instinct, it's an instinct of survival. And if we didn't have, we would not be here. And being brave doesn't mean lack. of fear. It does mean you're rationalizing your fear. You're saying to your fear, fear, I know you. I get you. I know why you exist. It does make sense. I'm not going to do anything crazy to put my life in danger because, of course, the fear is here to protect us. Reason why we're not going to eat something like, no, that's expired. We're not going to jump out of a building without protection. Like, if you're doing a bungee jump, you're going to be sure you're 100% protected, but you're going to rationalize because being brave is that it's getting your fear. It's almost using your fear, put in the pocket, say, you hear me, you're protecting me, because you're using the fear to actually to rationalize the situation. So how to make decisions, you ask me? Well, I don't know. No, I'm joking. I don't know really, but I'm trying to help you guys. How? Many people say, I ask God every day to help me to make decisions. But what we do most of the time with God, our mentor, guardian angel, Jesus, prayers, say, like, I always say to my mom, put my name in, like, in your vibrations there, because it's always good. But in the end of the day, what we want is just transfer. We don't want to make the decision. We want God to make the decision for us and come with an answer. Here, a little answer, like, in a little printed paper, like, almost like a receipt. We delegate to others. We go and start asking everybody, which is good to do a brainstorm with our friends and partner, whatever your problem is. But in the end of the day, it's your decision. So do not delegate. We throw a coin. Some people do throw a coin. Okay, like, if it's gonna face it or like no crown, doesn't matter. That's how I'm gonna make. Just stick my head in the sand like an ostrich, or just go crazy. Just like start drinking, using drugs, eating loads of chocolate cake, anything to deflect the situation. I distract myself. And then the decision is gonna come by some kind of enlightenment. We think we have the free will. We do. That no one is gonna never take from us. And making decision is the utmost of the free will, because they go together. Your free will allow you to make the decision you want. Isn't that amazing? But that comes the big but. Ta-da! Your terms and conditions apply here. You must take responsibility of your own decisions. So it's the same with everything. It's a famous people say, I want to be free, speech free. Now I want to say whatever I want. Do you? Okay. But you're going to have to take responsibility of that. Why? Because there are laws, because there are consequences to every single thing you do. So if you wanted to make a decision, you do need to make a decision because it's part of your life. But it's your responsibility and you need to own it. You need to own it because they don't belong to anyone else. Like the famous phrase we have that God gave life to each one of us so we can look after our own lives, not others' lives. Yeah. So it's your life you're looking after, not others. It's your life. It's your decision. So it's your responsibility. Don't transfer. Don't throw in God's back and say, I know I did that because God said to me to do it. God asked me to do it. No, I did that because my mother made me do it. I did that because someone else made me do it. Really? We need to be owning our own decisions in life. In a moment, we are adults. If you're taking a decision, you're taking the responsibility that comes with it. You like it or you don't like it, but it's up to you. And then you're gonna like or not like it based how much you know yourself. They go together. You know yourself very well. You're definitely gonna make better decisions in life because you're gonna know what you like and what you don't like. I want people just say, I want that, I want that, I want. But you want to take the consequences that come with that. I think it was a very old Spider-Man movie, and his uncle always said to him, like, no, you want to be a hero, but you're gonna have to take the consequences that come with your superpower. You want to have it, don't you? But take it. So if you want to be the superhero, or if you want to take that role in life, so take the consequences as well. And now we're asking what we're asking for. What's the purpose of the decisions? Who do we think we are by asking or choosing something? Because sometimes we think we are something that we are not, or putting ourselves in this different stage of life that we are not yet. And we think, oh, but I deserve, I'm entitled, look at me, I deserve that in life. Deserve, you all deserve to be happy. That's the principle of life. We are all sons and daughters of God, gifted with the little seed. But what are we doing to get what we want? Is that decision matching with our style? Is matching with what we have been doing? So Socrates said, a lack to know yourself, because a lack of self-knowledge leaves you open to accident and mistakes, ambitions. Armed with the right sort of self-knowledge, we have a greater chance of avoiding errors in our dealings with others and in the formulation of your life choices. I just think everybody should read that every day. And then Kardec said, if we really want to be an evolved spiritist, it is knowing that you're doing the two things together: moral transformation and taming, controlling your bad instinct. It's no point to say, but I am like that and I'm gonna die like that. It's just the way I am. You know, some people, they repeat that like a robot. I can't control because I am like that, the way that I am. I can do anything about it. Yes, we can. We can. Again, we are thinking beings, so we can. We all have bad sides. We do. It's easy. No, it's not easy. It's very hard. But it's part of our evolution. By how? By our moral transformation. By understanding why we're doing what we're doing. Taking the decisions of doing that. And then we're going to be able to control those bad instincts of ours. So, don't set yourself to failure. Normal decisions like, I'm gonna start a diet. I need to lose weight. So I'm gonna stop eating chocolate for a year. People come with those big plans. Failure. Failure. Why is a failure? Come on. That's unreal. Unreal target. Who is gonna stop eating chocolate for a year? I am not. If you're, and then what's gonna happen? It's gonna be a week. You're gonna give in and you're going to eat chocolate. And it's going to happen. You're going to say to yourself, I'm a failure. I cannot even keep up with my own promises. I should not make that decision. I should not have done that. And then you set yourself for that failure. You're sabotaging your own self. And then what you do in everything in life, because what? You're setting yourself to something huge. So if you want to stop something, or if you think something is not doing well anymore, it's being bad for your health or for your relationship, we're talking about targets now. We're talking about things closer to us, what you can control right now. So we're going to start, okay, I'm going to reduce my amount of eating chocolate. I don't know, maybe I'm going to eat once per week, or I'm going to eat every day, but just a little square. You set yourself to something that's doable, and then you start reducing more and more, and you commit to it, because together with the decision has to come the commitment. But don't overpromise, and align your expectations. Know who you are again, so you can expect it right from you, and then you also can expect right from others, because we align our expectations. Have common sense. Is this necessary? Do I need that? Do I want that? Or someone else saying that I want that? And why? Go to the 5 whys again. Common sense, I think, is a lack of common sense in our planet at the moment in many ways. Common sense. Is this necessary? My decision is necessary. I'm writing. Sometimes people is angry and they go, that's it. I'm going to write something. I'm going to post to everyone to say it. And then the person use Facebook almost as a toilet and write whatever they want. Yeah, I say whatever I want. Wow. Is that necessary? Do you need to do that? Do you really want to do that, or are you doing that to prove somebody else? And give me 5 reasons why. Not me, not Heloisa. No, to yourself. And be certain, there is always a price to pay. Always a price to pay any decision in life. There is always a price to pay. Nothing comes for free. Nothing is for free. What I'm going to lose or gain out of that decision? You're definitely going to lose something. You're definitely going to gain something. Only you can measure that, not me. Not me. And nobody, and you cannot measure for others. Meaning you cannot measure, not judge. That's everyone has a lesson that they can learn. The lessons in life are personalized. It's like if you go to school and each one had their own lessons. Would be amazing, wouldn't? Their own maths book with their own level of capacity. Each one has their own lessons. So do not compare. Each one can measure what they're learning, not you. You measure yourself. Am I prepared to take that on? Again, start with my starting points in knowing yourself. Decisions comes with responsibility. Is owning your decision. You're responsible for what comes out of that. Totally responsible. Yourself, only you, not anybody else. But it's different from judgment. Different. So I think we need in here totally make that clear. When we're responsible for something, is different. We are judging the others and pointing the fingers, because the famous, when you point one, I'm pointing, even though my other one always go straight as well, but you point at least 3 back to you. It's different. Jesus never judged. Never. Ever. No, he always gave us lessons to learn, telling us the stories, always showed examples. And it was the story of the adultery woman that people want to stone her in public square because she was having an affair. And when Jesus comes in her defense, and he says famously, do throw the first stone whoever has not committed a sin. Well, safe to say, no one threw any stone at her. Why? Because everyone has committed something in life. Was she responsible for her adultery? Of course she was. And what did Jesus say to her? You go, but do not do that again. Why? Because she learned her lesson. She learned her lesson. And knowing the lesson, So now she has a better informed way to make the next decision. Because if she makes the same decision again and commit the same mistake again, is she going to be stoned? No, she's not going to be stoned by anyone, neither by Jesus. But she's going to be very responsible for her mistakes. Probably she's already feeling very responsible. She is responsible. But she learned that, yes, she's been forgiven. So learn by your mistakes and for your bad decisions, because you're all going to make them. But just learn with them. That is the responsibility you take, and then use that for you to then to be making other decisions in life. And be honest. But be honest is not just honest with others. I'm not asking you to be an open book and share your life with everyone. But be honest to know, why do I need, and be honest to give yourself time to the change. Because some people say, I made a decision, it's been a week and nothing has changed. Oh my God, I think I made a mistake. Sometimes someone break up with a boyfriend and it's like, oh my God, it's been a horrible decision. Give yourself time. Don't give up in your decisions. Commit to it. Understand, because if you took all these steps before, then don't give up in your decision. Everything takes time to adjust. Everything takes time to set in place. A no, it's a no. A yes, it's a yes. Very simple. I know, sounds very pedantic of me, but it is. When we say no in life, we own that no, and we say no, thank you, I don't want that. It's a decision made. I'm not doing that. I don't like that thing. I am not talking to someone in that way. I am not answering to that offense back. I am not being rude to someone because the person was rude to me. I am not being the person here causing the problem. I am not being the one judging the other. I am not the one creating a situation that doesn't exist. So say no. If you're reading something that you think is not true, say no to that. I don't want that anymore. And if you're saying yes, say yes, I believe in that. I will do that. I will do that with pleasure. Thank you. I will accept that. I'm changing that. I will start eating better. I will give myself permission to feel healthier. I will give myself permission to be in a better relationship, to be happier alone. I will, and I am. Commitment goes together with honesty, always. Because the moment that your decision is made with total honesty and knowing from where it came from, because it came from you only and only yourself, knowing who you are, you're going to commit to it. Once you know your feelings, you know yourself, and makes you thrive, you can make your decisions in peace. Remember, spirituality is not judging you by the decisions you make, but they will charge you and take in account your lack of learning and thought process you put together. Again, they're not judging you for the decision you made, but they will charge you. Not only them, but yourself. Because they're going to say, well, you see, you made those decisions, fair enough. But then you didn't take into account that all of the times you put yourself in trouble and that didn't end up well, and then you made that same decision again and again and again. You didn't put too much thought process in that, did you? No, not much learning, no. So that's how you're going to be actually measured. So be a master of your dreams, not the slave of your sorrows. So be a master of your decisions, because a decision is a dream, is a daily dream, daily, sometimes hourly, every single thing. And don't be a slave of your sorrows. Don't keep always regretting everything you do and just being sorrow. Will say, oh gosh, why did I do that? We take very difficult decisions in life. We're always going to have to. Decisions that change our life. We came to Ireland. That was a big decision. That loads of us had to put many things into consideration. Decisions to get married, decisions to have kids. And a week ago, I had a decision, a horrible decision to make, to put my cat down because she was really sick, and then almost killed me. Together, almost the two of us end up in the spiritual plan. But decisions have to be made always considering why, 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 why. Because once you're mastering that, you cannot be enslaving yourself to your sorrows. And that isn't as in a domino. And everything has that effect, isn't it? You click one, everything is gonna go. I am not a product of my circumstances, but I am a product of my decisions. And I love this phrase by Stephen Covey. You are what you choose to be, what you choose in life. It's not circumstances. Circumstances gonna have, yeah, of course. Okay, I'm not a totally dreamy, of course, where you're born, in which family, and many things. It's gonna give you maybe a different start, but you're still gonna be the product of your decisions, because whatever you decide is gonna make you. And some people just decide to be in a certain way. So, in summary, to finish with our speech today, because it's Mother's Day and I don't want to be holding anyone. Are you in doubt? Yourself, not myself. You can get guidance of God for sure, but you have to ask yourself, is this going to bring me fulfillment? Truly, is that going to bring you fulfillment? Is this going to help me to evolve? Are you going to become a better human being, basically? Because if for you to be stationed in life, no point. Is this going to help me and others? For a good decision to be made, the answer must be yes for those three questions. This is by Carlo Torres. That's not me saying that. So there are three little things there, plus the other ones that I gave to you. I think the 5 whys are always a good way for everything: relationship, jobs, our figure, our decisions, country. Do I stay? Should I stay? Should I go? Anything in life is a decision. Even sometimes I get up this bed and go on. Everything is a decision. But make sure the decision, it is giving those yeses. And always remember, we didn't come here to suffer in this planet. No. Suffering is just those little things around that way in our Google Maps. It's gonna always be some road works. There's always gonna be some holes that your car might get stuck. Always gonna be something there. But that is not the destination. The destination is happiness. And remembering that, you're gonna always make the better decisions. And I'm gonna finish with a prayer from the Gospel according to Spiritism. So I would like to ask everyone again to please take a deep breath. And in the name of God and all powerful one, in my uncertainty, I call upon the good spirits who protect me to inspire me to make the best decisions. Lead my thoughts always towards goodness and protect me from the influences of those who tempt me to stray. Thank you so much. That mail is wrong. I need to fix that. It's spiritismireland@gmail.com is our email. So next Sunday, our speech is gonna be live at our group in our town. It starts at 12 o'clock, the live speech. And before that, we have the healing over there at 11:15, if everybody can be there. And then we always have some coffee and a few treats for sale to help our group to pay for our expenses. We have our virtual healing every Tuesday at I think 7:30, if I'm not wrong, or 7:30. They're gonna kill me because I always give but you guys are gonna find that in our YouTube channel anyway. You just need to click in. You don't need to be part of the group. It's a virtual healing and so on, and it's actually lovely because always comes with a lovely reading together and a prayer, and really helps a lot. And there is a group, they study groups, and Stephen is always giving speeches as well during the week together with the European Spiritism Society, the other groups around Europe. So please be connected in our Facebook, in our YouTube, and thank you so much for watching, and have a great Sunday and a happy Mother's Day to everyone.